Yeah, thanks. It's a truism in Australia to hear people say, well, at least you've got your health. And we all understand that health is the foundation for anything else in life that we want to have a go at or achieve. Now at the age of 56, I've given away a secret here because Bibi and I were together at Monash Law School, but I am about to undertake for World Vision purposes a 10-kilometre run, and there's been a number of people concerned that my health isn't up to it. They're saying, can you really do it? I remind them that people who jog every day, according to research, on average live 7 years longer than people who don't jog. The only problem is they've spent those 7 years jogging. So I'm getting into jogging to do this run. But with that story, I think it just grounds us again that health is the fundamental issue. And so there are 3 Millennium Development Goals that really are addressing health. And those Millennium Development Goals have really garnered some great achievements. The world, the United Nations, can't agree on much at all. Yet, 190 nations in 2000 said, this we agree on, that we will, and there's a whole 8 goals, I won't go through them, but halve the number of people in absolute poverty, reduce by 2/3 maternal deaths and infant deaths, address HIV/AIDS, they're the 3 health goals. And though we are off track about the Millennium Development Goals, there is extraordinary progress we've made because having goals means we know when we're off track. It's a goal that shines a light on how we are doing. And we have seen, thanks to the Millennium Development Goals, some real advances in children's mortality under 5. 1960, 60,000 kids died each day below the age of 5. 2 years ago, well into the Millennium Development Goals, they started in 2000, we'd halved that figure to 30,000 kids. Now we're down to 24,000 kids dying each day. Horrific. But you can actually see why a goal and imagination gives you some focus. Maternal deaths, a health goal. 500,000 women were dying in childbirth. It's down to 340,000. Now, whether it's all attributed just to the focus of the MDGs or not, we are making progress. And I say that because it's amazing still how little we spend on aid addressing education and health. The rich countries spend far less on aid than we spend on soft drinks. We spend 1/13 of what we spend on military expenditures on aid. So about 120 billion spent on aid. For the very little we spend, when you hear those figures and some of the advance of the health goals, I think we need to say this is remarkable, and imagine if we were really serious, if we really stepped up what might be possible. Let me say that in closing in my 5 minutes that there are undeniable, profound connections. Jeff illustrated it. Some people got sick in Mexico. We were closing primary schools in Victoria, in Melbourne, because of the fear of pandemics. We know that in our region, Vanuatu, Solomon Islands and Papua New Guinea, there are more people per capita with malaria than anywhere else in the world. Now, it's a less virulent strain of malaria than what kills in Africa, but more in our region. We know that in PNG there is a health clinic where women literally have to walk, they're pregnant, with buckets of water, they've got to bring their own water because the water's dirty, to give birth. That health clinic, you can literally see Australian coastal territory islands from that health clinic, that shore, which says to you, what's the moral significance of this piece of sea? Universal healthcare and medicine and all that we have in Australia, and Australian territory across a little bit of water, and there are women in absolutely dire situations. A huge challenge still for all of us, but we are making some progress. What I see around the world, very simply, is where we are focused on vitamin supplements, We focused on rehydration kits because diarrhoea kills 18% of kids. We've focused on vaccinations, pneumococcal vaccinations. Pneumonia kills 18% of kids, those 24,000 who die. 18% due to pneumonia, 18% due to diarrhoea. Where we focus on simple interventions, malaria-treated nets, we are saving lives. 45 million kids' lives saved since 1990. So I see real efforts, but I still see profound disconnection.
Thanks, Tim.